I think the terror of Danny's failure and the terror of his shame, is he loses that connection to water. It's a long time before he can go back into water. One thing you learn as a swimmer is the central importance of breathing. And what is breathing but life? And you have to learn that. That is the first lesson you learn as a petit enfant. I still remember, my father, and it's a memory that is there in Barracuda, dropping me into the sea, and you learn how to breathe. So that, as a metaphor, that's to breathe is to have a life. That is what Danny has to learn. Yes, I think the water is a way of my being able to say something about in-betweenness and safe space, and space that one can be oneself in. And I don't think it is an accident that for us as an island nation, water has this meaning. And maybe for, the fact that part of his heritage is coming from his mother. Greece is also another country where water has a particular meaning. I mean, you're absolutely right, because there is that notion with so many religions. Like, yes. It's in the monotheistic ones. It's clearly in Christianity, Judaism, Islam, but it's in Hinduism, it's in Buddhism, it's in so many religions, is the baptism of some sort of cleansing or purification. And what's transformation. Exactement. And what does Danny do? For a long period, he refuses water. He does. So I think the learning of his ability to go back to water is both cleansing, but also maybe a creation, to use the term, because I think it's a good one, transformation, to kind of transform himself as well, to become a new kind of man. I think that was what, it was just so clear that that Danny Kelly had to be a swimmer because of all that. All I could say about my world and the struggles in this world through water. It was a kind of gift, I think, when I think about it, being able to use that metaphor. In terms of the actual swimming stuff, when I began the novel, I thought, and I'm very grateful, I interviewed a lot of swimmers, ex-swimmers. I read a lot of swimming biographies and autobiographies, and the reality was that I was searching for, words. I was searching a way to describe, because what Danny Kelly, like all professional athletes, does is really, really boring. 4 hours a day, going bap, 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 chasing a black line. It's not. And I thought, I'm going to read these books, I'm going to talk to these people and find a language to make it exciting. And what I discovered was that they told me so many things, and so many things I'm grateful for that I used, but they didn't have words because they're not writers to describe that. So I had to invent that. And the way I found that invention was to think about breathing, and to think almost of the water being a space of music, because it's rhythm, it's repetition. There's a strange one thing that's interesting about what happens in water, and this was talking to both women, young women and young men who are swimmers, is that they are absolutely conscious of their body. In fact, in many ways, all they are is body, because you're losing, you have to lose a certain part of your consciousness and subjectivity. So they, and all your attention, all your day, all your thought is about how do you create this perfect body. But then at the same time, they are completely outside all the desires of the body. They are almost pre-adolescent in their bodies, because they're so concentrating on the mechanics of the body that they're not thinking, the things as an adolescent that were fully part of my world, like the hormonal body exploding, sex, sexuality, violence, all of those things. Actually talking to swimmers, they had none of that. They were so into the body as a machine, and I found that fascinating as well. And I tried to be as faithful to that in the writing of Danny Swimming as I could.